Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So this is quite a funny article that I came across, a funny piece of news regarding Harry, and it seems to be true. It seems as though since Harry got with Meghan, all of his masculinity has been stripped down and he has turned into a lovesick puppy. But in this article, he's being described as a snowflake. So it says here, Meghan has turned Harry into a snowflake. Meghan has turned Prince Harry from a soldier defending his country into a snowflake, a think tank chief has said in a forceful assessment of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. In the wake of their relocation to the United States, Harry is a former royal who has served in Afghanistan, but Robert Oulds argued Meghan has changed him, almost beyond recognition. Mr. Oulds and Niall McCrae, a senior lecturer in mental health at King's College London, expanded on their concerns in Moralities, a cultural virus, whereby woke ideology mutates and becomes more extreme. They accuse Meghan, whom Mr. Oulds describes as a woke warrior, of imposing a set of values on the prince while probably looking down on the royals. And Meghan did seem very dismissive and judgmental of the royal family. We know that a lot of the swipes that were taken at Princess Beatrice were very malicious and nasty. And I think that they came from Meghan's camp. I think she felt as though they were being treated in a manner that was unfair, that they was being allowed to have their cake and eat it too, and she felt as though she should be treated in the same vein. But what Meghan really has forgotten to realise is that Princess Eugenie and Princess Beatrice are actual born blood royals. They did not just join the institution last month or last year or 5 years ago like her. They are born into it. They are born of that. She was still having to prove herself. Kate had to prove herself. She waited 10 whole years. She courted William for 10 years before she even got half the privileges that Meghan enjoyed. They was generous enough with Meghan. They did really treat her like one of the family, but she still had a job to do. She still had to show that she wanted to be a part of this institution. She wanted to make them look good, and she wanted to promote them in a positive light, none of which she's been able to do. Anyway, I'm going to carry on here. Mr. Oulds also told Express he thought the Duchess of Sussex had turned Prince Harry into a snowflake, and the Duke has changed since meeting Meghan. Well, he's definitely changed for the worse, not the better. We've all seen that change in Harry. He's gotten worse. The royal family and the monarchy is a key British institution, a crucial part of both our unwritten constitution and our national identity. The monarchy is highly respected in Britain, the Commonwealth, and the world over, which it is. We know that their past is colonialization. The Commonwealth was meant to be a peace offering between the UK and all of the previous colonialized countries, and it was meant to bring everyone together so they can work for the greater good of everyone's interests, not just the British Empire. They are known globally as a prestigious, prominent dynasty, effectively. And for Meghan to come along and act as though her wokeness can change that in under 18 months, it's just ridiculous. So I'm going to carry on here. For that reason, the woke brigade want to smash all that is great about it, and they do. They want to destroy the foundation. The British royal family are what they are, and they've been standing firm for many centuries. Prince Charles was on TV the other day and they filmed a documentary about him and his relationship with the Duchy of Cornwall, from the farmland to the renting of the commercial buildings. And as he said, he can trace his line all the way back to the 13th century. Someone like Meghan can't simply come along and expect to change that overnight. And change it for what exactly? To disrespect your family? Is that on trend now? To moan about every single thing that you have to do? Spend obscene amounts of money? What exactly was she trying to change it for? I can't think of anything progressive that Meghan has really contributed during her time in the spotlight to any world issues. What has she solved? What has she brought light to that wasn't already being dealt with, that wasn't already there? The patronages that she now possesses were already live and kicking way before she came along, and she hasn't enhanced them, she hasn't improved them, she hasn't changed people's lives. What has she done? Anyway, I'm going to carry on. The aim is to have a year zero in British life and sweep away our loyalty to our country, queen and flag. It is no surprise that in the Meghan versus the Queen debate, Republicans side with the one that thinks she knows best. Prior to meeting Meghan, Harry was a popular young royal with an infectious personality and sense of humour, Mr. Ord said, and Harry was pretty popular. He was the cheeky chappy. He had made some mistakes, but all in all, he was liked. People did not particularly dislike Harry. He had stepped out of line in the past, but he was not disliked. Now Harry is just simply disliked by everyone. The Canadians can't stand him. British people can't stand him because of the impact that I personally believe Meghan has had on his persona. She's made him very callous, very disrespectful, very nonchalant. And it's just not a good look for him. I do hope that he wakes up, but who knows. He added, "You might think that Harry must pine for his previous life, the charity work for disabled soldiers, his pranks with his brother William." And I imagine that he does miss that former relationship with William. But I think because William is so dutiful and because he is going to be sitting on that throne, he can't afford to slip up like Harry, and he can't afford to really take him in, because essentially Harry is trying to destroy his brother's future legacy and his brother's children's legacy. They are directly in line to the throne. Harry is in 6th place. I would love for Kate to have another baby, but I don't know if that's going to be the case now. And that is simply the truth. He's lost a lot in this union with Meghan, and I do not think that it has been worth it. He seems really miserable and truly unhappy. A prince who acted like one of the lads, but now his mind has been led astray with woke subversions, and that would be Meghan's influence on him. Since meeting the former Suits actress, the 35-year-old prince had changed dramatically, Mr. Ord said. Meghan's impact has been clear and not the most positive. The royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams, former editor of International Who, said Harry had undoubtedly been influenced by Meghan in reference to Meghan's attitude towards the royals prior to the couple's controversial decision to step down as senior members of the family and relocate to the United States earlier this year. Mr. Ord said she probably looked down on other royals because they did not spout the politically correct dogma that Hollywood wannabes parrot. And I think that she definitely did get extremely frustrated with not being able to say what she wanted to say when she wanted to say, having to meet people such as Donald Trump, having her diary dictated to her, being told what to do. Meghan doesn't really function well with being told what to do. She likes to do all the telling, doesn't she? She married into the royal family and immediately began to undermine this bastion of British heritage. The House of Windsor would need a complete overhaul to accommodate Meghan's superior outlook on the world. And they certainly would, and it was never going to work. You just can't do that. You can't change 1,000 years of history for one actress who's had a couple of episodes on Suits. I think it was up to 100 episodes on Suits for her, the whole duration of her career. That was the biggest job that she scored in, not even Hollywood, in Canada. So it was a regional job. It wasn't a global show. It's just, it was so unrealistic. Harry has been demasculated. He has been dumbed down, and he has pretty much turned into Meghan's puppy. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go, and I'll be back with another update. Bye, guys.